Welcome to Put This On, Season 8, Episode 43, where we watch Four in a Bed, Series 9, Episode 1. One thing people know about me is I don't wear pearls. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I'm not poo-pooing it, but it's just pictures on a wall. This is Brian.
Yorkshire born, Yorkshire bred, strong in arm, thick in head. This is Noah Singer.
I'll try anything once. Not really. This is VJ.
What happens if I go for a wee in the night and I'm naked? This is Max.
So those are all quotes from this week's show. But last week we had a little snafu where we recorded an episode and my audio is lost. So we kind of have a lost episode. We watched The Later Daters on Netflix. At some point, I might bring up, what people rated it. But the week before that, we did Humans versus Hamsters on Max, and you guys rated that a middle third show. And Noah, what show do we watch this week?
4 pairs of bed and breakfast owners put their reputations on the line by staying at each other's establishment. They pay only what they deem to be an acceptable amount or the experience, with one of the establishments being named as the best value. That is 4 in a Bed.
So shout out to Rob for reminding me of this. But about, 10 years ago, I went to London and I watched Naked Attraction and 4 in a Bed. And we could find Naked Attraction online, which now it's much easier to find because it's on Max. But we could not find this show. So we couldn't do it. So it was kind of like a lost, we should do this show, but we never did. And Rob suggested we do it as our last episode of the season before we do the season finale. So here we are. We're doing it. 4 in a Bed. I watched it in London, where you should watch it, I guess.
The only place to
The only place. Except now it's on Tubi, and it's on YouTube. There's some on YouTube. But essentially, this show is the same one as there's an Australian version of this show that we did on Netflix.
100%. I couldn't shake the feeling we'd seen exactly this show before.
I don't remember the name of that show.
I'll look it up.
Look that up for us. So essentially, you have 4 bed and breakfast owners in the UK, and they all go to each other's bed and breakfast. Each episode is a different bed and breakfast, and we watched one of the bed and breakfast episodes. Max?
It's called Instant Hotel.
Oh, yeah. Terrible name for that. At least 4 in a Bed kind of makes sense. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a cute name.
Yeah.
Was there something instant about it?
No.
Well, terrible name.
I mean, I definitely thought for a long time this was like a polyamorous show because you guys kept talking about it and I never looked it up. I did not realize this was a B&B show.
I'm with you, Noah. It definitely sounded something not this.
Yeah.
That's totally reasonable. Very reasonable. I'm not sure what kind of polyamory shows we watch that are out there. We've seen them all. We've done the they're way more interesting than this show.
Oh, yeah. It's a slice of life we're not familiar with. For this, we could probably relate a little bit more to.
All right. So the bed and breakfast we get to see this week is from Jane. It was from Jackie, and her friend Jane is on the show. It's called Oak Tree Forest. It's in something called Burley. It's 85 pounds a night. And yeah. So what happens is we have 3 other couples that come to this Airbnb, or B&B as they call it. Because I think this show predates Airbnb.
I mean, bed and breakfast is a very old term.
Yeah.
That's where Airbnb comes from.
I know, but I'm just trying to make a comment about how it exists before Airbnb. But whatever.
This season.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, this season is in 2016. So.
Well, it's a little misleading. There's Wikipedia says this series ran 2016 Series 9, but Google, the Google A, says 2015. Either way, Airbnb's easily around by then.
Okay, that's fine. Uh, so essentially, what happens is we have three other couples, three other people, three other sets of people that come in. They own their own Airbnb as well. So these are it's kind of a stealth advertisement for everyone's Airbnb. And you come on the show, you get your Airbnb mentioned, and people might come. Like that's the whole point of the show. It's kind of like I don't even know if it's stealth advertisement. It's just an ad for Airbnbs or B&Bs, I guess.
Yeah.
So we've got Martin and Catherine. They're the Yorkshire couple. Then we have Norman and Lorraine.
Characters.
They're one of the more interesting.
They're
They have a
fashion
dress.
snobs.
They have some sort of dress code at their pub.
Are we getting into this right now? Is this go time?
If you
Not
want.
yet. We're giving you a teaser.
Then we got Patrick. He doesn't have a wife. He runs his own Airbnb.
His entire personality is, I don't have a wife.
In this show, in this episode, for sure. And they mentioned that.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, how much
Chris,
can you have about a guy in a 20-minute show when there's 9 other people on the show?
Chris, if you're trying to seduce a lady, it helps to not live in a place called Epstein House.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if it's not about that one, you got to lose it.
His B&B is called Epstein House in Liverpool. It's named after a guy who managed the Beatles, and it's got a bunch of kitschy shit.
I wonder if it's still called Epstein House.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I was not aware that Brian Epstein was the Beatles manager. But why would you go to the Beatles manager's B&B? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I feel like if you really
It's
like
not
the Beatles, and it has a lot of paraphernalia there, it might be fun.
Like when we did the Instant Hotel, there was definitely some hotels or B&Bs there that were very well themed and very well put together. I guess slight spoiler, I may have watched this episode where they went to the Epstein house.
Ooh.
So I could tell you that there's not enough kitschy stuff for me at all.
That's lame.
Yeah. According to Trivago, it is still called Epstein House.
It should be Epstein House, not that Epstein.
Gotta respect the commitment to the bit.
Yeah, he's in.
So the other thing so essentially what happens is the other Airbnb guests come in, they get to see how clean the room is and figure out, how well clean it, whatever. They rate the room and then they do an activity. So the activity in this episode was some sort of breathing exercises, which I thought was pretty lame.
One of the lamest activities I've ever seen.
It's some meditation thing. It wasn't just some breathing exercises, right? It was more than that.
Yeah, I would call it more meditation, but she called it breathing exercises. So
I don't really see how it fits into the show. It's not your average experience there as a guest. I get trying to do it as a team bonding exercise, but just call it that.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with how the rooms get rated or how the B&B is.
Yeah.
They all go out to dinner together, and that seems more related to the situation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Then they go out to dinner, then they go to sleep, and then they wake up and have breakfast. All of the B&Bs included breakfast.
So we saw how they rated each B&B, and I don't want to get into it yet, but I noticed they don't have any ratings about the restaurant. What if you go to a really shitty restaurant and the B&B hosts were like, "Oh, this is the best restaurant"?
So I don't think it should be that, but there should be a rating around location of the B&B, of like how close is stuff to get to. Like, what if your B&B is just like not convenient as a guest to do anything, right? Like that should be like that's like part of choosing a hotel to stay
Yeah.
at. Like that's pretty normal. So like that's I feel like that's what it should be. Not like, oh, you went to a restaurant close by, it was shitty, so like your B&B is shitty now.
But they don't rate on that, right? The dimensions they rated
They
on was,
didn't rate on either of those, which makes no sense.
They
but
rated
they
on the breakfast.
yeah, the breakfast, but not the dinner, right? They rated on what the like host could control,
Yeah.
which seems reasonable to me.
I don't
Not
know
that
that's totally true, right? They rated on how the building is built, but not where it is. It seems like both of them are like only slightly under the owner's control or equally under the owner's control, whichever way you want to look at it. Like, is that owner they like one of the complaints in this episode is that this particular B&B doesn't have a bathroom for every bedroom. Like
Yeah,
that's more controllable. Like I guess you can get a new bathroom built, but like it's also a little loose at best.
it's a spectrum for sure, but I do think there's like stuff more in there. Like they can't control the dinner if they're going out, right? Like,
What they rate on from I don't remember all the ratings, but they rated on like the guests or like the host, how well the host was. Then
yeah,
they rated on cleanliness, and then they
Mhm.
rated on um,
Facilities,
facilities, and then they rated on like breakfast,
right?
Mhm.
and then they would say if they would come back or not.
I assume the form had maybe more questions and they didn't show that on the show.
Huh.
It's only they might have because I was kind of half watching the rest of the episodes, but there's the real point. The real thing here is that the ratings don't freaking matter.
They don't.
The way you win the show is by getting the most money. So when you leave
Oh,
the Airbnb, you leave them money for how much you think it was worth. So if they say it was worth £85 and you're like, yeah, I think it's worth what you say it's worth, you give them £85. But if you think it's worth less, you can leave them less. If you think it's worth more, you can leave them more.
interesting. I didn't realize that. Like, I
And
find that whole
and
thing
then
kind of tricky. Like, we have a rate, but you pay us what you think. Like, no hotel works like this.
I know, but like that's just part of the show. Like they made it
it's
pretty
part of the
clear.
show, yeah.
No,
That's part of
I
their
know. I
rating.
just like that. I don't like that mechanic because it's like not real to me. Like,
I
I'd
don't
rather.
like the mechanic where you judge your other fellow contestants basically, and like the anonymization is poor at best.
yeah,
So
That's
like
big.
it's non-existent.
and Jackie brought this up too, that like I know that they rated me poorly, but I'll still try to have an open mind. And it's like, will you though? Won't you just go in trying to find problems in their place?
So this is the best part of the show, I think, is this like will they won't they cheat to win the game? Because like it's a game you want to win, right? So like obviously if you would just give everyone 1 and gives everyone $1, like the chances you win are pretty high because you know I don't know what the rules are, but it doesn't seem like there's any rules.
Right.
And so like if this was in America, that's what people would do because then they would like it's like game theory. How do I win? Well, give them the lowest they can get.
Mm-hmm.
I'll contradict myself on this one though. The real game that you're playing, which I think one of you brought up earlier, is advertising your B&B on TV.
Oh,
So
for sure.
then, if you game theory too much on TV, then you look like an asshole, and less people will come to you because the host is no longer a nice person.
Yeah,
Interesting.
man, it must be a really bad strategy to be mean on this show.
Right. Like if
Yeah.
you're mean, then people won't show up to your place. Then you
Yeah,
make less money in life.
people probably like give you
See,
shitty reviews.
this is what makes the show good because there's like okay, advertising my Airbnb. I gotta be good. I gotta like rate these people well, but I want to win, so I don't want to rate them well. I want to like lower them. Like there's like this whole crazy game theory going on with this show. That's
Yeah,
just
Mhm.
the
like
game theory is not as obvious as it first seems.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Hmm. Yeah. So everything's basically inflated a little bit, no matter what.
Yeah. I feel like
I mean,
the
in this
move.
series, I'm sure there's other series where people are like harsher about
Sure.
it. Like,
I'm sure they get characters, but I feel like it's even though they have a 10-point scale, in reality it's like a 5-point scale. At least based on how we see it being played. Right? Like this won't even go below there just to like play
yeah,
Like
I
it.
mean,
something has to go wrong. Like it has to be pretty obvious. Like people will only rate you really poorly on something if they are confident that the negative thing will be shown on screen and they will look justified.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So in the one episode where they go to Patrick's Airbnb, there was Jane and Jackie claim there's a smell in their room, and they only give them like a 6 for like facilities or whatever.
Damn.
But they give them a lot less money. They give them
Hmm.
like $24 less, pounds less than it's quote unquote worth, which
Hmm.
like he can't win at that point because it's based on how much value the Airbnb is worth. Like the whole show is trying to figure out the best value Airbnb. So it's like if you give them less than they say it is, then that's big
So
downgrade out here.
is the winner determined on who got the most money or who got the most money compared to their base rates
Base rates. So it's based on the percentage
of your
of
base rate that you got?
yeah,
Interesting.
I see.
Okay,
That
so the
makes sense.
best deal.
yeah.
And just for one clarification, like in the first episode, the two rooms are 85 pounds a night, but the one room has a bathroom attached, then that one's 95 pounds a night, right? So then you have to take all of that into account, I guess.
Yeah.
I think they just kept saying 85 pounds, didn't they? In this
No, no, no.
Yeah.
episode?
They said it's up to 95. All of the like
Mm.
B&Bs, they said the rooms are up to some number. And so like I assume like the different rooms can be different rates. And in this one, like obviously like
They
the
were.
rate's gonna be different if you have a bathroom attached or not. Like that, like it should be much more different than what it really is.
So the next Airbnb was Norman and Lorraine's. That was 115 pounds per
Right.
night. And
Okay.
then Martin and Catherine was the one after that, and they were 79.99 pounds per night. And then Patrick was 99 pounds per night. So you kind of got a range of 85 to 115 or 79 to 115. I guess there's also, I'm looking at my notes and I'm just like, apparently Patrick was flirting with Jackie like this whole time, it seems.
I
And
think both
Jackie,
of them. Like I think he went back and forth. He was ping ponging.
yeah, I
He was
mean,
mostly talking
Jackie
about Ted.
definitely seems like she was playing with him.
Yes.
And in like the confessionals, especially like in the first episode, there's a confessional about how he was wasting his time.
Right.
And then in the last episode, they were like, Jackie was like, said something about, oh, he bought it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on
He went
her. That's some good game theory.
Oh.
yeah, but is that going to make you look good? Because that's all. Like, we don't know the result of the game theory here, like in terms of how well it does for your Airbnb.
People do like reality show game players, though.
That's the thing. This is
DC
fascinating to me. If you own this Airbnb, do you just like just try to crush them so you can win, so you can put up the I won Four in a bed, and like no one watches Four in a bed. Like how many people watch the show, and you get to be claim you're the winner? Is that better than just saying you were on it, but you were a dick?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Chris, there's 20 seasons of this. Somebody must be watching Four in a Bed.
And each season has like 100 episodes. Like it's
Wait,
nuts.
what?
There's
There's-
a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I think each season is like 50 episodes. It's probably just one a year.
Gee.
Sorry, a series.
Yeah, and that's like 4 episodes. Figure out the winner.
Five episodes.
So it's 5 episodes like per round.
Yeah, 5 episodes per round, which we could get into. The
Interesting
fifth episode.
format.
The 5th episode is hot garbage. It's terrible.
Whoa.
It's literally they sit down and they show you clips of the 4 episodes you just watched, and then they reveal how much money they got, and that was it.
Mm.
It's
So
just
you
like,
should just watch that one instead.
Yeah.
you could just watch that one.
Yeah. Especially if they do
Although-
the clips. It's like, come on. It's good to go.
So to give you some backstory, is like Brian was going to come over tonight and we were going to watch the show. So I didn't want to watch episode 1, but I wanted to watch the whole series. So I watched episode 2 through 5, and then I watched episode 1.
We didn't
So-
talk about something. Oh,
Go ahead.
What? No, this is like complete segue. I don't know if y'all noticed, Patrick had a 6-door car. Anyone
What?
notice?
I did not.
What do you mean 6-door car?
Was this an AI car?
No, I mean it's like a extended sedan, but it's not a limo. Like it had 3 doors on each side. I was hoping Max would be like, "Yeah, of course, that's blah 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 blah."
I mean, there are people who do this. They hack and chop up cars in funny ways. There are ones where like they just chop out the middle of it, so a normal sedan is like missing a mid. Oop, that's my laundry.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I never seen a car with 3 doors on the side. I was like, "What is this? What's going on?"
Must be hard to drive on tiny British roads.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't notice that. Like, whoa. Anyways, back to the show.
What was everybody's favorite nitpick?
Nitpick?
I really love that they were complaining about how floral patterns are dated. That's a matter of taste, baby.
There was one episode where there was like a flat bed sheet and then like a bumpy, like it wasn't bumpy, but it was just like a blanket that had like waves in it a little bit, like little
Sure.
raised, and like they were like, I don't like that.
That's kind of more legit to me.
You think
I don't want a
so?
lumpy blanket.
No, it wasn't.
I
But it was
wanna-
like it was a blanket on the end. It was like an extra blanket,
Oh,
that they fold up.
okay, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I just need a even spread of comforter.
Yeah, there was a comforter, and then there was just this, extra blanket on there. They were like, I don't like this bumpy blanket. Trying to remember what some of the other complaints were.
I got really irritated about the eggs thing because that was a dish that you ordered, and it was a result of like your decisions, and you just could have asked like, "Hey, can you just give me some new eggs?"
Mm-hmm.
Was this the episode where there were cold eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Oh,
comes
that
up.
was next episode. Oh my god, I forgot.
It comes up all the time.
Yeah.
This was not exactly a nitpick itself, like what Max is thinking, but I like when they did the alternative therapy. The folks from Yorkshire is like, if alternative therapy worked, wouldn't they just call it therapy?
That was good.
Yeah.
That should have been somebody's quote.
Yeah, that was very good.
On a tangent of watching the episodes out of order, I had no idea that Patrick's house was the Epstein house. And it just like pops up. It's like, we've got the Epstein house next. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
This was my favorite minutia of the entire episode.
Patrick. Yeah, I didn't.
House is so good.
It definitely didn't even cross my mind. I was just like, yeah, of course, the Beatles manager, obviously.
I had no idea. I was like, wait,
Did
what?
you know that before?
I did, yeah.
All right.
Is
It's
he
not
the fifth Beatle?
Yeah. Yeah, that's its, like moniker. Like it's not like super popular knowledge, but it's not like it's probably like $600 Jeopardy question, maybe $800, not $1,000.
What is this scale? I've
No,
never heard anyone
Noah's
talk
scale
about-
is great.
Never heard this scale before.
The Jeopardy scale.
How much Jeopardy do you watch?
I used to watch a lot, not recently.
Yeah, I'm sure with kids it's harder to watch Jeopardy.
What time is Jeopardy on?
Well, I mean, it's really about cord cutting. Jeopardy was a cable show,
Right.
right? Jeopardy is not something you like
Hmm?
go select. I
Well,
think
you
that's
can
the.
watch it over the air though. So like to be fair, like you can
Yeah.
watch it.
I mean, if I did over the air, but anyway, it's 7 p.m. or 7:30, depending where you are. That's what I have.
I'm pretty sure it's still on Hulu, and you probably can get an antenna and watch it if you wanted to.
Right. I'm
They
just not
should
there.
they should make like an app like HQ, but it's just Jeopardy, and you just get to watch Jeopardy.
Probably should.
You
They
get to
actually
participate.
came out with Colin Jost hosting Pop Culture Jeopardy on Prime Video, like maybe a few.
I saw that.
Oh, was it good?
No, no, I didn't watch an episode. I saw that had happened.
I see. I see.
I assume that Pluto has a Jeopardy channel or something where you can just watch Jeopardy 24/7.
Hell yeah.
Let me get this straight. Noah asks, "Oh," or Noah says something like, "Oh, pop Jeopardy, pop whatever," and then Max, you're like, "Yeah, I saw that. Like I saw that," and Noah's like, "Yeah, you saw that? How was it?" You said it wasn't good, and then you didn't
And
actually
then
watch it.
no, I didn't watch it. I was like, that's the joke. Let me actually explain.
Okay, that wasn't a funny joke.
Moving
The other
on.
part was you making it seem like you watched it, but didn't watch it.
I'm kind of confused if this show even exists yet or as if it's a future show.
No, it's out there.
It's out.
I get
It's
I
out.
get ads for it on TikTok.
Ooh, one of my notes is Patrick is perplexed by cushions.
What?
Perplexed by
Who was
cushions.
that?
Patrick. He doesn't like cushions on his chairs and stuff.
That
It was
just
just-
means he doesn't like it. He's not perplexed by it.
That's a direct quote from the show.
I don't understand cushions on beds. Like, that's like what I don't like. We go to a hotel, they already have way too many pillows, and then they have cushions on top of that. It's like, now I just need freaking space to like put these cushions away.
Yeah, and I feel gross putting it on the floor.
I end up putting them in the closet or something, like hopefully there's space like that. But like, yeah, like it's just like then they're on the floor, then you know the next person they're gonna put it on the bed. Now the thing on the floor is gonna be on the bed. Like it's just like it's just a bad cycle.
So you're talking about like the decorative pillows, like the pillows you're obviously not sleeping on. Has like tassel on it, and whatever else.
Yes, like it's different in different hotels, right? Like sometimes there's like the long pillow, sometimes there's a square cushion, like it's whatever. I don't even know how you technically differentiate between cushion and pillow. Like it just seems
Well,
very
I don't know.
tricky.
Cushion and pillow I get, but like I think it depends on what's wrapping the pillow, right? If it has like all this like frill on it that like you literally could not put your head in a comfortable position, purely decorative. Versus like it could be a long pillow, but if the pillowcase is like soft, like people might use that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not like just you go to a hotel. There's like 1,700 pillows on the bed to begin with, and then there's like an extra 7 cushions, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? Where am I supposed to go?
I'm surprised you guys put them in the closet. I definitely just put them in the floor in the corner. Right, like,
Closets, like because the good thing about putting them in closet is it makes it very clear they do not end up back on the bed the next day. When
yeah,
people leave them in the closet, they get the message.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. One minutia we kind of teased up but didn't really talk about was I had it in my head and now it's
Norma,
gone. Norma?
isn't that one of their names?
Yeah,
Norman.
Norman and
Lorraine. Oh,
Martha?
I wanted to
Lorraine.
talk I wanted
Oh.
to talk about the dress code in their pub.
Yeah.
So they made it seem like a big deal in episode 1. And then you go to their episode and they're like they try to downplay it a lot. They try to be like, we're just trying to have a modicum of, I don't know.
Are they just like no shirts, no shoes, no sandals, no business?
I don't really understand they never say what the dress code is. And even they try to walk it back, they still say they have a dress code. So
Well, let me be
I'm
clear.
just confused.
What happens in the first episode is they say we dress a certain way, so we expect our guests to dress a certain way. and it just brings around this, and then they kind of look at each other and pause for a while, and then the guy says upper class.
Yeah, maybe they try to walk it back because I think one of the people is wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Maybe you're not allowed to wear a t-shirt and jeans in their pub.
I think what happens is they make the comments to everyone. So if the show is being aired in the same order that it actually happened, then I think whoever wore the t-shirt and jeans kind of makes it a point to show up in t-shirt and jeans just to annoy them.
Oh, it's definitely filmed in the same order for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then,
I mean,
like they make it clear at the dinner table that they believe in this dress code bullshit. So like the person is actually not wearing t-shirt and jeans in the first episode. They're wearing a button down. So like they must intentionally be dressing down more to like kind of be like, yeah, let's see you being an ass of a host.
It's
yeah,
true. You're really putting it out there to see if they'll kick you out.
Right.
yeah. The Yorkshire couple seems like the most down to earth, maybe. I don't know the right way to call it, but most we're gonna,
Martin and Catherine.
yeah.
The other thing I didn't talk about is like everyone's activity for every Airbnb. And Martin and
Mhm.
Catherine's was crazy. It was looked really fun. So apparently Martin is like a professional like trials uh motorcycle driver. So
No
like
shit.
if you've played the game Trials, like I didn't know this was a real thing. That like they do motorcycle stunts where they like jump across like blocks and go up and down like ramps and stuff. It's freaking nuts. And this guy is like doing it like live in person in front of everyone. And then their like activity was like teaching them how to ride a motorcycle and like trying to get them to do like weave between some cones and stuff, which very fun.
That's the fucking sickest thing I've ever heard.
and
And this episode, they're just like, who can hum the loudest?
And then they just
well,
make sounds.
well, the other two also are pretty lame. The one of them, what was it? Patrick's was they do charades of Beatles songs.
Oh, fun.
I mean, it's at least a theme.
Yeah, he's on point.
Couldn't they
And
do like
then
karaoke or something?
nope.
Charades? Charades is fun.
Norman and Lorraine's is they do bocce ball, some sort of UK version of bocce ball.
UK version.
It's not called bocce ball. You had to like stand in like a circle, but it's just bocce ball.
If someone asked me, I would have said, if like was bocce ball created in UK, I'd have been like, yeah, probably makes sense. Seems very UK like.
It rains there a lot. What are you gonna do? You play inside bocce ball?
Oh, it's from Italy.
I mean,
Italy.
it sounds
name.
Italian.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah.
But
Is
there's
there
other sports that come from the UK that are played outside in the rain.
Croquet.
Yeah, that's the example I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any other minutia? Because I have one last thing to talk about.
Whoa.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Why does Jane exist on the show again? Like she's just Jackie's friend and just along for the ride. Like I don't really understand.
That is what it appears to be.
So
Just
it
like-
seems like everyone gets someone to help them. Like everyone's in a pair. So like Patrick,
Patrick is not though.
That's
no, but in this season on, he had someone helping him. It seemed like.
Chris.
No, he doesn't
Oh.
have anyone helping
Then-
him.
I thought that they were all going to be pairs too. So when Jane first shows up, I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be in a pair. Like, this just makes it even. And then Patrick just shows up solo. And I'm like, okay, well, now Jane's existence is kind of weird.
I think
It's funny they
Patrick.
kept that
Just,
for last.
I think Patrick just doesn't have any friends. He couldn't get anyone to come on with him. It's
but
really what I think
Jane-
is happening.
Jane, they kept giving her some title like competition partner or something.
Yeah.
Was it that?
I think so. Yeah.
So that answers that question. Who is Jane? Why is she in this show? She's the competition partner.
Her voice was very sus. Very sus voice. I don't know if that's real.
Can somebody quote
Yeah,
that?
I
Somebody
didn't like how she spoke for sure.
Oh no, too sus. Like when she opens her mouth, I'm like, "Are you real?" Like, what's
Something
that?
that's sus is somebody in their late 30s saying sus like 4 times in a row.
I just don't want to say suspect so often. I feel like suspect is so much easier to say. But yes, I don't disagree with you, Max. I think
No one uses the word suspect.
that would be the alternative.
No,
I
it
mean,
would be suspicious, firstly.
Be the change you want to be in the world, Vaibhav.
I'm in a rock and a hard place. Can't say sus, can't say suspect, can't say man, suspicious is the only one. And even that, sus is so much easier to say.
No, I am not disagreeing with that part. I think that part was fine, but I'm just saying no one says suspect instead.
Yeah,
All
fair.
right. All right. Let's move on here. Let's talk about the winner of the show. I want each of you to guess who the winner of the show is.
Oh, before that, actually, can I bring up one more thing? Why was Jackie crying all the time?
She's very emotional.
Like the one time it made sense, I'm like, oh, okay, she got emotional. And then like it happened twice more. I'm like, nah, it's just a little much. Like, what's even going on here?
I don't know. I that did happen a couple times, and I look over. I'm like, why is she? They said she was emotional. I'm like, okay.
But she
Well,
got
it seemed like
emotional at breakfast. Like people complimented her breakfast, and like she got
Oh
emotional.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
That
it's
she
just
ran
one
out.
meal. Like I get when like you get a really good like the form, like the whole form being amazing. I get that. Like oh, like all our hard work is paying off. Just one breakfast. She must be making breakfast for guests all the time.
I got my two theories. So one of them, producer B. I don't think they're doing this, but like they butter her up, that's like, no, go on, champ. Or she really just doesn't get validation. And this is like her peers just that means a lot.
Max, who
Hey,
do you think won this episode?
you mean this arc?
Yeah, this five out of these four, who won?
The what is their name? Martin and Catherine is my guess.
What do you think, Noah?
I think this woman, the woman we watched,
Jackie,
Jackie, yeah, names are hard on
James
us.
Bond.
Yeah,
Brian?
Jackie.
I'm gonna go with the Rising Sun, Norman and Lorraine.
What?
They only really had like the bad one of like the vindictiveness.
Maybe their place really shines in their episode.
But
VJ,
That was
what do
not intentional, but I like that.
who do you think won?
Um, I'll go with Jackie.
So, VJ, Noah, you guessed correctly. Jackie won the episode. But I don't understand how she wins when she has the only place that has like not enough bathrooms for everyone. Like, how do you win? Like, there's no extra. I don't have my own bathroom. There's no way you should.
But it's priced appropriately.
I mean,
I suppose.
the other one of them was $80, £80 or whatever.
Where's that one?
That one was
Like I don't like we don't understand UK location economics, right?
yeah,
Like
Martin and
right.
Catherine in Yorkshire.
Yeah, like
Like
Yorkshire
it,
might just be a much cheaper town. Like I don't know. Like
yeah, it could be like what we don't have is the information about how cheap or expensive each location is because they
right.
didn't really talk about the location at all.
Yeah.
I also think there's some of the game playing here. Like Jackie seems the most medium in the road, like on the spectrum of like who's going to be the most agreeable amongst this crowd, which is why I was thinking Jackie. Like no one's really offended by her. No one thinks terribly different. So it's like, yeah, Jackie.
The one thing is like, for a B&B, which is obviously like a cheaper option compared to a hotel, the biggest thing is cleanliness, right? Like you want to like the biggest thing you're worried about going in is it going to be clean. Her
Yeah.
place was spotless. Like the one person was was checking on top of the closet if it was clean and there was zero dust there. And like yeah, she probably cleaned extra for the show, but like even then, like like she really went through.
I think that she was one of the ones really playing the game. She was the one flirting with Patrick, even
Right.
though, and she's the one crying because of the breakfast. And she was the first one.
Game on.
I
Did
also
they-
I feel like if you go first, you have an advantage since there's less acrimony.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
there's no tainting of like the previous reviews and stuff.
but there's also like people aren't sure how to baseline, right? So they can be nervous to go too high. So
They should really like have the survey reveals in only the fifth episode. Like they should just not like tell the person. Like all your voting should be blind and stuff, and like money should be in the end. Like all that stuff should be at the same time. Like what? Like this basic game management. Like what are we doing?
yeah, that's a good point.
I agree.
But the fact that they do it this way makes it interesting, game theory wise.
This is what I think. This is what differentiates it. This, like we discuss sometimes how if it's a game show or reality TV. I think them telling them within the episode makes it reality TV.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
So I have some minutia that's like blowing my fucking mind right now. Not only is there 4 in a bed, there's 3 in a bed. Are you guys aware of this?
I
That-
did know,
That's a polyamory show.
No, it's the same show. It's
I
the
did
same.
know there was a 3 in a bed. I did know
It-
that.
Why?
Wha-
Why do they have 3?
Is it only 3 groups per episode?
That's the only difference.
Okay,
Oh my
that's
God.
actually nuts.
I'm pretty sure 3 in a bed was first, but I don't know.
Then why did they upgrade the 4?
So what's even so they it kind of was made at the same time. Oh my god! So at least on IMDb, the first episode of 3 in a Bed is 2010. It's the same time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Also, all 3 B&Bs are visited in one episode in 3 in a Bed. So it's
Okay.
a super
That seems
slimmed
like a better-
down. Seems like
seems
a
like a
much
better
better
format.
format.
Yeah.
So
Do we have to add it to the list?
It's gonna be a quickie.
Let's get to some questions. Who's the worst human being?
Oh wait, no, Chris. Before you do that, did Jackie? Do you win anything beyond just like the award? Like, did you get money?
Not that I'm aware of. There wasn't any there was no ceremony or anything.
You should get to win the money that people put in envelopes.
Yeah, you get to win all the money.
Crazy. Anyway,
yeah.
Jins.
Worst human being. I feel like Jackie could be up there for fake flirting, but you're playing the game. Does that mean you're a bad human being?
I disagree. I think Norman and Lorraine just give me the heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebies.
I'm gonna go with Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he's arguably in the
He's
show.
part about the. He's part of the
There's
show.
some. So I'm browsing IMDb like for each episode, and episode 4 is where they go to Epstein House, and it's called Epstein House. Let me just read the little description because the last part of it is like perfect. The final visit is to the Epstein House in Liverpool, where there's a competitive Beatles-themed game of charades and some shocking revelations all around. I feel for Epstein House. You don't want shocking revelations all around. Like,
Chris, was anything you saw in all 4 or 5 episodes particularly shocking?
No. I was kind of shocked by the lack of theming of a Epstein house. I was expecting more. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting if you're telling me this is the Beatles house, it's like you're telling me this
It's
is
not
the
a Beatles house. This is the thing. It's the Epstein house. This guy's a manager. He's not a band. He's not an artist. He just managed some bands. Beatles, obviously, being the biggest one.
But then why are
He
you
mentions
going
the
there?
other band as well. And on his Wikipedia, there's some other bands that I hadn't heard of. I'd basically only heard of Beatles and Jerry and the Pacemakers. But it's just not about the Beatles.
He's just not high profile enough of a celebrity to have a house. He's just not.
But like he wasn't gonna make another Beatles B&B. There must be like 17,000 of those in Liverpool.
Yeah, he also
Yeah,
doesn't
but
live
you
in
make a
Liverpool, right? He lives in this other town.
What?
I don't think he was in Liverpool either, if I recall correctly. Was he?
That's
I
what he
uh,
think
said.
no, it said it was in Liverpool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it
you
that's
was?
what he
just
said.
read
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You just
All
read
right,
it.
all right.
I do like you could call it Epstein House, sure, but when you go there, it should be a Beatles themed thing with like Epstein maybe, but like it should be more Beatles focused. It's just not.
But like that just wouldn't be unique in Liverpool. Like what you're suggesting is just too common over there.
I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying I wanted more theming. That's it. That's all I want.
Those already exist in Liverpool. I promise you.
I'm not sure. I don't. Whatever. Do we have some drinking rules? Brian, what do you got for me?
Finish your drink when you see a full English breakfast.
There are some of them. Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah. Have a drink every time you see a knickknack.
Paddywhack?
Don't give your dog a bone.
Max, you got one?
Not particularly.
VJ?
Are we talking about just this one or just four in a bed and
Just
like
four in a bed in general.
four in a bed in general? Four in a bed in general. I think like whenever one of them complains about something in a B&B.
Oh,
That's
that's a tough one.
I think anytime somebody's like playing the game, like flirting when they're not supposed to, or giving less money than you think they should have given, or like it's complaining excessively, setting something up. Take a drink. I think that those are the moments you're watching the show for. All right, this is our favorite game show we have on the show. What speed did Max watch this show at? Noah, what do you got for me?
I'm going to go 1.0. It's not that long. Didn't really feel like it dragged, so I'm going 1.0.
Brian?
It was the one to watch.
I'm gonna go 1.5. I I wish I had paid attention to like see if there was speed controls for it, but I got to go with something.
VJ?
I think he watched it at base speed, which for him is 1.2.
I'll take two. I'll take two. Why not?
Mm.
Max?
1.0. No excuse.
No excuse, Max. We need excuses.
Nailed it.
All
There's
right.
been too many 1.0s recently. This game's getting less fun.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
You should watch
Maybe
them at like 0.9 at some point, just to really throw us off.
I like it.
All right. So let's do ratings. So we got a stack ranking system. Or do you guys want to do, is the show better? Would the show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok?
Mm.
I've
At least
one
you have the
other
proof of this.
question. Go on, Brian.
Oh, at least you have the proof of this with 3 in a bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this would honestly be better as like a series of like 5 Quibbies. Like shrink this down to 8 minutes.
Yep.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I was saying this series, this particular 5 episode thing would have been best if at the end it was revealed that Patrick does have a wife.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
That would have really just taken it off.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah, I think this would be better if all like 5 were condensed into something like 60-minute show or something.
Seems to be what 3 in a bed is.
That's 3 in a bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we do a stack ranking system between top, middle, and bottom third, and some people stack rank in their stack ranks. Brian, what do you got for me?
I'm gonna have to put this middle of the middle. It wasn't really that engaging, but it also didn't drag. Like it was nicely condensed. I don't know. And then I just rolled into the next episode without knowing. But it's still just like I wasn't really like paying attention.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a good background show, I think.
I definitely agree with that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Max, what do you got for me?
Middle third, I really didn't hate anything about it, so middle third, top of the middle. Um, yeah, I just agree. I was very surprised it only focused on one B&B per episode.
VJ, what do you got for us?
I'll go top in the middle as well. I agree with everything that was said. I think if they like cast it a little better, which like obviously like you have to find B&B owners with a little better casting, it could really go into the top third.
Noah, what do you got?
Yeah. Um, the show's fine. I think you nailed it. Like, it's good background fodder. It's very much. I think it feels like the UK version of. Oh man, it just escaped my head. The house hunting show where they do 3 houses on an episode, and it's been on
It's
forever.
called House Hunters.
I guess that one. I didn't realize it was called that, but
It's the sort of hunting of houses show.
it feels like that, right? Like the production of it, like the tone, like the tint of the cinematography, like just feels like this like PBS like production, uh, medium, medium show, very medium, middle of the middle.
Yeah. Why not? I'm gonna put it in the top. I watched this whole series. I think it does a lot of itself a disservice by having a clip show every fifth episode, and you have to watch the clip show to see who wins.
Yeah.
But I did watch all five, and I was kind of engaged. Like I wasn't like not paying attention while watching them, but I did watch too much. Like you can watch too much of this show for sure, and I was pretty bored watching, trying to pay attention to one of the episodes. Um, like it's much better as like while you're doing something else kind of show. But the people watching is really good. The game theory is very interesting at the end and trying to think about how much did somebody game theory this, how much did they not, kind of situation. So that I'll put it in the top. Why not? Tell us what you thought about this show on X at Who Put This On. And next time, we're going to be doing our top 5 and bottom 5 of season 8, aka 2024. Now we do shout outs of other stuff we've been watching. Noah, any shout outs?
I watched Gladiator again. I think like you did. That was pretty fun. I watched Red One. Also pretty fun. It's on Prime Video. I think it's like well made for what it is. And I'll stop there.
Was Dwayne Johnson good in the movie?
I think he's always excellent. He plays The Rock. He's always The Rock.
I disagree. He's not always excellent. Have you seen that Black Adam movie? He's not good in that movie.
Nobody's seen that movie.
Yeah, I'll just say like I tried watching that movie. I think the movie's bad. I don't know if he's bad in it.
It's both. I've seen it.
Hmm.
Like, if you're watching, what's the Jungle Cruise movie? He's good in that. That's a fun romp with Dwayne Johnson. Red One could be a fun romp with Dwayne Johnson. I don't know. But I can tell you Black Adam is not a fun romp with Dwayne Johnson.
But I think it goes to the movie, right? It's like, does he make it a fun romp? Like Black Adam was never going to be fun.
He's a movie star. Is he making a fun romp? He picks the movies.
That's
picks
fair.
The movies then. You can't be like, oh, he picked a bad movie. No, he picks the movies.
He picks the movies. Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Max, any shout outs?
I'm continuing to read the 5th book of the Stormlight Archives. I've been keeping up with Dune Prophecy, and it's been 5 episodes, and they've failed to make me give a shit. I'm pretty unimpressed with it.
Yeah, that 5th Stormlight book is ginormous. It's so long. I'm like 50% of the way in, and it's like so much more. Well, to be fair, I read 25% that they pre-released of the book.
Sure.
Brian, any shout-outs?
Been checking out this Peacock show, St. Denis Medical.
Oh,
it's kind of just medical office. No, sorry, what were you saying?
No, it looked good. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I've
recommend it?
checked out a couple episodes, and it seems alright so far. But it's also like the early part of the season where they're just introducing stuff. So
Nice.
I really just want House 2.0. Like I love House. I just want more House.
do you want medical Sherlock or do you want House? Or just like a general Sherlock, or you want medical Sherlock?
I mean, I'd be open to a regular Sherlock, but
Okay.
I love House. VJ loves House too. VJ, you have any shout outs, stuff you've been watching?
Not too much. Leah and I started watching The Great. This show on Hulu. Seems fun so far. We've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes.
I feel like it sets a
Okay.
high expectation.
What?
It sets a high expectation.
What?
It's because it's the great. I got it.
I know, but like it's the Great. It's not the Great Show.
I'm just saying their association, they're aiming high.
In the
Uh,
in the Sherlock Tune, I've been watching Monk, and I'm nearly about to finish it. I think I only got like 7, 8 episodes left.
you watched
Which
all 1,000 episodes of Monk?
it's not as many as you think, but yes. They also Netflix told me yesterday that it is going off of Netflix in like 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, good timing on me.
Yeah.
Way to go.
It's nice.
Speaking of Netflix, I've been rewatching Squid Game because the new season of Squid Game is coming out. And OG Squid Game, pretty good show. Like I'm really enjoying rewatch.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch more. So I'm excited for Squid Game season 2 coming out December 26th.
Yeah, I know. It's coming. It's coming.
I know. All right. You can find us on Twitter/X at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. Email us questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next time.
I think we should restart. You also said series 9 instead
Yeah.
of season.
Yeah,
It's
that's
serious.
no, Noah. Shut up. You're wrong.